When looking for a college, it is important for students to consider the college search as finding the right fit. Oftentimes, students will choose a college for prestige, where their parents went, where their friends are going, etc. The popular choice is not always the right one. It is very important for you to find the best fit college for you, your personality, and your program of study. The last thing you want to do is find yourself somewhere that is not what you expected, or even worse, somewhere that does not offer the program of study for the future career you are interested in. Choosing where to go to college is as important as college itself. Do your research and take notes on each college so that you can compare and contrast at a later date. There are many college search tools on the web, in addition to visiting each college's website and taking a personal or virtual tour. When researching, you will want to pay attention to the admissions requirements and ACT or SAT preference, as well as the size of the institution. Are you a person who likes the big institution and a larger class size? Or are you more comfortable in a smaller setting where you have the opportunity to get to know many students and staff on campus? Location. The distance from home may be important to you. Is it important to you to be able to visit home frequently? Or do you see this as a time to experience a new part of the country? Are you a big city type or more of a rural type? Maybe something in between. Next is cost. With the price of college, you may want to compare and contrast colleges in terms of annual cost, merit scholarships, which are automatically awarded for high school GPA and test scores, and other competitive scholarship opportunities. The quality of programs. Even if you are not 100% sure of your program of study, you most likely have an area of interest. So, say you are interested in business. What does the college offer in terms of business? Are there several options in the event you start one program and decide it's not for you? Colleges that offer opportunities and choices will be the best in the long run, rather than finding you have to transfer to another college because you changed your mind. In addition, ask to meet and talk with someone in the program and ask questions about what is unique to their program, what opportunities are available, and what is the staff to student ratio. Public versus private. You will hear later that the sticker price of private colleges can be shocking in comparison to public, but the private schools tend to have endowments, which allow scholarship opportunities that bring down the costs. Also, be sure to take notes on application deadlines, student activities, and housing options when researching colleges. How you apply to college can be as confusing as choosing the college. There are a couple application terms to know. First, early decision. If you choose to apply early decision, it means that you are committing to that college if your application is accepted. It is legally binding and basically saying no matter how many colleges I apply and am accepted to, I choose you over all others. Next is early action, which means that all college application materials are due on a specified date, usually November 1st, at which time the admissions committees review all applications completed by that date and give a decision between December and mid-January or earlier. Next is regular action. Most common applications where due dates are January to February with decisions by April. And last is rolling admissions, where colleges who accept applications and review as they are received. Typically, students will hear back within about 4 weeks. It is important to note that no matter where students are applying, CHS counselors strongly recommend students apply by November 1st so that they can begin focusing on searching for and applying for scholarships. You should also consider housing and residence options. Is living on campus required? How many people to a room? What are the prices of meal plans? Next, we are going to hear from a student's perspective about applying for college.
I found the college application process very stressful because to me it was such a huge step to be taking, and this place that you're going to be devoting 4 years of hard work to, and I really wanted to find a good fit for me. To overcome the stress of the college application process, getting together and working with friends certainly helped a lot. And trying to stay really organized and on top of all of my deadlines, asking teachers well in advance for for recommendation letters, and getting all my materials together. I had a big file folder where I kept my transcripts, my SAT and ACT test scores, everything in one place. I think that I learned through the application process for college to really stay determined, and that even when the going gets really tough and it feels impossible to get all of the work done, that if you just break it up into small pieces and you do one thing at a time, you can do it and you can make it work. And I also learned simply to let myself relax a little bit and not be so stressed about it. My mother kept reminding me that it's not the rest of your life.
This is what college reps look at when they review your application. They look for students who have earned strong grades in challenging courses. They also try to learn about your character by looking at what you do outside the classroom. Take advantage of opportunities like the application essay and college interview to show a more complete picture of who you are. As a side note, during COVID, most colleges waived SAT and ACT for admittance. However, most look at scores for merit scholarships, honors colleges, etc. Again, it is very important to research what the college is looking for and what is required before applying. Now, here's a word from a college admissions rep.
When colleges are trying to put together their enrolled class each year, the students from all of their applications who they will admit and enroll, if students would think of it as trying to have a successful party, and if you're having a party, you don't want to invite all of the same kinds of people. You don't want to have just loud, obnoxious people at your party. You want to have some of those people. You want to have some quiet people. You want to have people who want to play games and people who want to have conversations. Same thing happens when a college admissions dean is trying to bring together a new class. They want all kinds of different students. So they do want those brilliant 4.0 valedictorians who are really going to excel academically. And they also want students who are going to be good academic students, but are also fun and going to be involved in a lot of activities. And students who are musicians and students who are athletes and everything in between. So if students would think to themselves, all these things that I've done, somebody out there is going to be interested in me as a person and want me as part of their community. It may be there's some college who aren't going to want the student, and that's fine too, but there are plenty of colleges who will. Students obsess about where they're not going to get in instead of really being excited about the places that take them.
It is suggested that you apply to at least one reach school, one match school, and one safety school. This helps balance your applications and leaves open the possibility that you can exceed your own expectations. When looking for colleges on College Board's Big Future website, you can enter your GPA or test scores, and it will let you know what schools are a reach, match, or safety school for you. This timeline shows all tasks involved with applying for college from beginning to end. Note that most of these deadlines are in September of your student's senior year. CHS counselors meet with 11th grade students in May to encourage working on some of these items the summer before senior year. On the CHS counseling website, there are multiple videos to help you navigate through some of these tasks listed, like registering for parchment and completing the FAFSA. As we already discussed, there are merit scholarships and competitive scholarships offered directly from the colleges to bring down the initial cost of college. However, there are many scholarship opportunities and search engines out there. This can become very overwhelming. So, here are some tips from CHS counselors. First, never pay money to get money. Scholarship applications are free. Next, consider national scholarships in terms of every high school senior in the US applying for them. Your chances are limited. So, we encourage narrowing down your search, for example, to state based, region, or local scholarships. Local scholarships that are available specifically for Clarkston High School students are listed on the Clarkston High School Counseling website and updated weekly from November through April. Students should apply for every scholarship they qualify for. Aside from scholarships, all students and parents must file the FAFSA. I was told once that even if you have enough cash to pay for college, or are the child of Oprah Winfrey or Bill Gates, you still file for FAFSA, as each college will create a financial award package and you don't want to miss out on anything because the FAFSA was not completed. The FAFSA becomes available October 1st, and it is first come, first served for state or federal aid. Now, here's an overview on paying for college.
One important thing to think about when setting financial goals is that it actually starts at age 16 or 17 with a conversation with your parents about who's going to pay for college and how much will they pay and how much debt will be involved for the family and for you in particular. It's easy to sort of take one student loan out or take another one out for the second semester of your freshman year, but you need to sort of think about how much will that all add up to. Before you take out a student loan, you have to consider a couple things. I'd first, try and imagine what it'll be like to try and pay this loan back in 4 years or 7 years or whenever it is that you'll be paying it back.
I think we have borrowed far too much for higher education in the name that it's good debt. But week after week, I get emails from college graduates, sometimes 10 years having graduated and still loaded down with this amazing amount of debt. I actually got an email from someone in their 50s who was still paying off their student loan debt. Oftentimes, people don't realize that they, especially in this economy, may not get the kind of jobs with the salaries to service the amount of debt that they've taken on. And what it means is that if there's a retrenching of this credit, meaning that people now have to think of different ways to go to college. So perhaps your college student has to live at home and not on campus or in an apartment. Perhaps they need to go in-state instead of out-of-state.
Well, the traditional way to pay back your student loans is to pay back equal monthly payments over a 10-year period, and then you're done. But if you can't make those monthly payments, you might want to do what they call an extended repayment plan, which is basically stretching out the term of your loan, which reduces your monthly payment to the student loan company. There are other kinds of programs like graduated repayment programs or income-based repayment plans that look at your income and figures out how much you can pay per month based on your income.
Basically, all student loans get chopped into two categories: subsidized student loans and unsubsidized student loans. Subsidized student loans are those loans where the government is paying the interest while you are in school, and about 6 months after you are no longer a full-time student, you have to take over the payments. The nice thing about a subsidized loan is that the interest was paid while you were in college, so the loan itself did not grow in size. An unsubsidized loan is when the payments are deferred, but the interest still keeps accruing. So you might borrow $10,000 on an unsubsidized loan in your freshman year, and you graduate and that $10,000 has grown to $14,000 or whatever the number may be. So I tell students, be very aware of whether or not the money you are borrowing is unsubsidized or subsidized, because if it is unsubsidized, that money is going to be larger than what you originally thought you borrowed. Student loans are not like any other loan in the sense that if you default on a student loan, there are provisions for lenders to get that money back from you easier than maybe a credit card company or a car loan company might be able to. It's possible that your tax return or your wages might be garnished.
Okay, So even after all your research, planning, and acceptance, you need to be aware that colleges can revoke your acceptance and scholarship offers if things plummet, such as grades, rigor, activities, etc. Seniors need to finish strong. Now let's take a look at the admissions sorting game for a better understanding.
If you have taken an exceptionally strong academic program, move up 2 spaces. If you direct the gospel choir at your church, move up 1 space. If you clearly stated that this college is your first choice by making an early decision application and commitment, move up 2 spaces. If your intended major is psychology or pre-med, move back 1 space. If your intended major is Greek, move up 1 space. If you do not know any of your teachers well enough to ask for a recommendation, move back 2 spaces. If, when you word processed your college essay, you forgot to change the name of the college you are applying to, move back 3 spaces. If you are a legacy, move up 2 spaces. If you did not write the optional college essay, move back 1 space. If the topic of your college essay was sports as a metaphor for life, move back 1 space. If you wrote the essay of the year, the one that was passed around the office, move up 2 spaces. If you plagiarized your college essay and got caught, sit down. You're out of the competition entirely. If you'll be the first in your family to attend college, move up 2 spaces. If you attended an enriching summer program between your junior and senior years, move up 2 spaces. If you come from a single-parent household and must work part-time to help with expenses, move up 2 spaces. If you have participated in no extracurricular activities, move back 3 spaces. If you have participated in a significant community service project, move up 1 space. If you achieved a gold award in Girl Scouts, move up 2 spaces. If you are a varsity athlete, move up 1 space. If you're all region in a sport, move up another space. If you earned a D in an academic course at the end of your junior year, move back 3 spaces. If you wrote a letter to the college admission officer and explained the extenuating circumstances surrounding a grade of D, move up 1 space. If you decided to protect your GPA by not taking AP classes offered at your school, move back 2 spaces. If you're in the top 10% of your graduating class, move up 2 spaces. If your last name is Gates and the name on the college library is Gates, and it's not a coincidence, move all the way to the front of the line and stay there.
This completes the end of our pre-recorded video. Now let's get ready for our live interactive session with our college reps. Tonight we have from University of Michigan, Oakland University, Hope College, Michigan State University, and Oakland Community College.